Hello everybody, this is Adam here at A Strings, and I'm here with guitar extraordinaire.
Hi everybody, here at A Strings. I'm Nick Johnston, and I'm here with interviewer extraordinaire.
Yeah, see?
See, we got this.
Yeah, it was good, man. Good, yeah. So, you're here for
the coffee, but there's none in here. So
these are props.
I'm here for a guitar clinic on behalf of. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Oh, I like it. On behalf of D'Addario, with Mark Holcombe, we've been traveling across your beautiful country of Germany, the UK, and we're here on behalf of NYXL, and this is kind of a cool event because I don't know of many dual-headed guitar clinic things.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this our third or fourth one, and the last series I did was with Toast and Bossy in the States. Cool. And I was basically said, like, what do you want to do next? And I'm like, let's do Mark and myself in the UK and hopefully Europe after.
Yeah. So this is the smallest one you've done on the tour, I think. Yeah.
In terms of the size of the room, it's the smallest. No, is it? Hang on a second. You know, Glasgow's a smaller store, I think, the guitar store. But we fit 160 people in there. I think because you guys are capping at 60, that's cool though, because it kind of creates this little bit of demand. Oh shit, I couldn't get in. Oh shit. You know, fight somebody on the street, whoever gets in. And then the room is the right size for that many people, I think.
Yeah.
And I say that because any more than that, and it would turn into a sweat factory.
Yeah, which is what we don't want at
all. At all. Not with this. Yeah.
So, this is date 3 of 4?
In the UK, it'll be 4. We've got 2
in
Germany, so it'll be 6 all together. Really short kind of run, just in a way, kind of testing it out, see how it goes.
Yeah.
But also, just because it's a really interesting way, I think it's a really interesting way of promoting the brand. Because, think about it, everyone that comes here, if it's 150 people the first night, every one of those people are going to be taking pictures, and they're going to post, and they're going to share, and they're going to tag, and they're going to. It's such an easy way to kind of build the brand versus like a passive thing, like a guitar magazine ad. You know, you read it, you're like, yeah, I've heard of it. But this is like, you know, you're there and you're meeting the people and you're talking, and we're making jokes and we're having fun, and hopefully there's some good guitar playing. So it's just a cool way of. I think it's a really forward way of thinking, you know. And D'Addario's been really cool enough to kind of let me try this.
When did the relationship start with D'Addario?
They were my first, or how does this work? Do I endorse them or do they endorse me? How does that work?
You're an endorser.
Co-endorsers. I started doing that with them back in 2000. I think it was 2011. So it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
So I was 23 or something like that, and I'm really, really involved in a lot of the stuff back. I'm from Canada. There's D'Addario Canada, and then obviously the head office is in the U.S. But I've done like camps and clinic, like all sorts of stuff with the U.S. And then with Canada, and then I became like a D'Addario. I think it's like national or something. Like there's different levels, and you kind of start working with the main branch, and they're good with when I do tours. They support everything. You know, even down to drum heads.
That's right. Yeah,
Mark, like the sticks, all the bass strings, guitar strings. So on and so forth, guitar straps. So it's just a really good relationship, you know, and I personally think they're one company who kind of took a chance on me and was like, let's help you get your name out there. So I tried to do everything I can for them.
Yeah. So you would have started before NYXL, way before NYXL.
Quite a bit before, yeah. I remember getting that black demo package. Cool. You know, the tester. I remember getting that and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. And you know, without it being a sales pitch. You know,
it won't be because I'm not good at that. But go ahead. Yeah.
How do you find that change from the standard, which would be
dude,
the standard XLs to?
I can't go back. I really hate to say that. I cannot go back to the standard. These strings do not break. They just don't break, and they last. I don't have that horrible alien sweat like the corrosive. You know,
the Rory Gallagher.
Yeah. Jeff Loomis, he'd play for one day and they'd turn black. I've never had any dulling issues with the strings. They've never broke.
Yeah.
They've never broken. They never broke. They don't break. Let's go with that. They don't go to tune. Maybe it's just my guitar, but they just do not go to tune. And here's a weird thing. I'm going to say this because it's weird, but it's me. It's also a bit of a psychological thing. Yeah, knowing you have a better string makes you feel better about the instrument. You feel like the instrument has your back. It's quality. You're like, this is a better quality of string. Therefore, I'm not worried about if I bend this note really hard.
I was going to say, you go for like a two-tone.
You saw me doing a sound check. It's like, caution to the wind, my friend.
Yeah.
And It's just, I don't know. Overall, I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it. I know there's a different type of metal, it's a different type of steel.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's a better string.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best guitar string you can get.
Yeah. Heard it here first. Speaking of the guitar, that is your
The guitar.
your Schecter.
Yeah.
Again, was that something that was Schecter something you were using anyway, and was just
No.
like, okay,
Not at
so
all.
did they come to you?
No. Well, you know what's interesting about Schecter? I'll try and keep this relatively brief. Is I'm a child of the '90s, so when Schecter came on my radar, it was for Papa Roach, Crazy Town, Coal Chamber, all these bands I did not associate with the type of music I like.
Yeah.
So Papa Roach, Jerry Horton's coming out and he's playing do 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 do. I'm like, that's cool, but I don't do that. So I was playing a Fender guitar, a Stratocaster.
Yeah.
So I didn't know Schecter did that, but their heritage, going back to the '70s when they were Sunset Custom and they were building all those part replacement guitars like Pete Townsend and Salt and Swing. What's his name?
Mark Knopfler, yeah.
Knopfler and Yngwie was even using them at one point. They had this whole kind of lineage of that style of guitar. So they reached out to me through a few different people I knew at Schecter playing their guitars, and they said, if you're not using Fender, you should try these. And I played one of the guitars, and it was just like, holy crap. Kind of changed my mind. There's a whole story that I could go in, but I do it in the clinic. And then they basically said, do you want to do a signature model? And I said, no, of course not. Of course. I said, yeah. And then now we're on iteration 3. Next year will be number 4.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And what are your specs?
Specs, I didn't change.
To make it make it sort of yours.
Okay, cool. I didn't change too much from the stock traditional. I have they make me my own single coil pickups for the guitar. We're going to be a new set next year. The body is it's got its own, like, I've had 3 different guitars with different custom colors.
Sweet.
That they didn't make before, but they do now. Master tone volume with the original, like those old style. I guess. Let's just say it with the Strat style knobs. I mean, the guitar was clearly based off of a Les Paul. And then we moved the truss rod adjustment to the heel, which is cool. It's a Wenge neck.
Oh yeah,
it's an ebony fretboard.
So no sighties problems there.
No sighties problems, which can be a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I work really closely with Schecter, so we used to talk about that all the time. It's like, oh, I got to do the sighties, especially with my Diamond Series model up until now was still a rosewood neck, but we're changing it over to baked maple and ebony.
Nice.
The neck's a little bit different. It's got a bunch of stuff burned into the back of it with my logo and everything, blah, blah, blah. But it's basically the stock traditional, just with enough on it to make it modern. Oh, and the frets are really, really, really big. Massive frets. 25.5-inch scale and 14-inch radius, so it's like pretty flat, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beast of a guitar. Everybody. I'm looking at all 3 cameras right now. It's like,
Just take all 3.
Just yeah. It's cool.
So, for those of you that are watching, this is going to
Both
be
you
with
guys,
clips
listen
of,
up.
Yeah, for the both that are watching, we are literally about to go out and make some noise. We're not
like
far.
5 minutes.
Yeah. So before we do, I'm very, very briefly going to talk about the album.
Okay.
So
your new album, or?
Yep. So just going to talk about my new album, and you're just going to sit and listen.
Yeah.
No.
So part of the show now.
So we're just going to talk about your album very, very quickly. So
Remarkably Human.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So, what is the inspiration? Because for me, musically, and this is just what I took from it, but I was getting sort of notes of Muse, Coheed and Cambria, in terms of, I guess, the piano stylings more than anything. I think on sort of the orchestration of the pieces. Okay, yeah.
No, I would say honestly no to both those. I do like Muse. I like 2 Muse records a lot. I like oh my gosh, the one with Falling Away with Stockholm Syndrome. What's the name of that record?
That would be
Absolution.
Yeah, that's an amazing album.
It's a great record. Yeah. And Resistance. Those 2 records I like a lot. A lot of the piano stuff, because I actually write everything on piano. Not everything, but 90% of everything. Because I feel like the way a piano is lined up, and the way it looks and the way it works, there's that note there, that's that note, and that's the only place you find that note. It just makes sense. You can play an orchestra on a piano, right? And, like, you get the melody and the harmony immediately. And I'm stripped of any technique. My melodies are so simple, I'm not shredding, blah, 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 because I can't do that on a piano. So when I write something, I'm like, it's like my dad typing on a keyboard.
Yeah.
Where's the L? Musically, I'm trying to incite more of the science fiction. You listen to that harmony. It's a lot of tritones, a lot of substitutions, a lot of majors where there should have been minor and minor, blah blah blah. Versus any band or any, I like one band I really like just because of his wild sense of harmony. Even though he may or may not know what he's doing, is I love Opeth a lot. I like Stephen Wilson a lot. I like Devin Townsend. I like these guys that they're playing rock and metal, but there's like a drama to it.
Yeah.
And I like to read a lot, and I imagine a lot of these science fiction or fantasy books, the themes in this, and what music could be behind this story, or what could be behind that. And then, just the need, because it's instrumental music, to write interesting chord progressions and melodies that are descriptive, because I don't have words. So if I'm just using a basic diatonic, I'm not saying anything, it's a backing track. So I have to be very descriptive, and my description comes from the guitar tone, the lead playing, the melody, and more importantly, the harmony.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from.
And I think, just to save myself from this. I think what I take when I listen to it, I think what it does is it puts me in a place
Cool.
that I get from the
That's great.
feelings I get from.
So there is like a cohesive vibe to the record.
Yes.
That's really important to me because I've never had that before.
But also I think the important thing is that, like you said, with an instrumental record, it's very, very, very easy to be just an instrumental record.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this it doesn't feel like that at all.
Good.
It doesn't feel like that.
Hey, put her there. Put her there. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No
That's
problem
really
at
sweet
all.
of you to say. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you go off and warm up. Not that you need to
play
warm
some
up.
guitar. Oh, come on now.
Oh,
Play some guitar, and I guess yeah, man. I've never been in this part of the world before, this exact part of your country before. And as soon as we crossed over into your part of the world, it started to rain. So I don't know if that's a sign about how good or bad it's going to go tonight. I have no idea, but we'll let the fates decide, won't we? That's a positive attitude.
Well, as soon as you come over the hill, the rain and the orcs.
It's all going to go down.
Yeah. It's not good. But it's 3 weeks of just solid sunshine.
I
and the
know.
day you come over, and it's raining.
Sorry, guys.
But please enjoy
the
shop and Wales. And
there's lots of cold water and there's lots of hot coffee, so I'm sure
there
it'll be
is
an interesting balance in life.
Yeah.
Go
play some guitar. Go
Thanks,
play.
buddy.
Go
okay,
play.
I'm going. Bye.